Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about Good Boy. This is easily the most unique horror movie I've seen in the last few years. Directed by Ben Leonberg, it's his feature debut starring his very own dog, Indy. I love when movie nerds are movie nerds. This movie is told from the point of view of Henry Jones Jr.'s dog. You heard that right. This is a ghost story where the protagonist is a very good boy. I'm not an animal person. I don't really care to own a dog, a cat, or any other pet. Yet, this movie had me clutching my seat and wanting to give Indy a huge hug and a pile of treats. So no spoilers, but I do want to give some context on the plot. Todd is struggling with a chronic illness and leaves New York City for his late grandfather's rural house in the woods. Almost immediately, Indy senses that something is off. The house breathes, shadows linger too long, and the doorways feel like thresholds to something hungry. Todd coughs, wheezes, and deteriorates while his sister Vera worriedly checks in from afar. Indy, meanwhile, keeps witnessing things that Todd can't. He hears noises that pull him towards the attic, the bedroom, the garage, the basement, and much more. I absolutely love that this movie keeps us aligned with Indy's perceptions. We've all seen the videos of dogs barking at walls and things that aren't there. I love that this movie places an emphasis on what dogs notice. Footfalls, drafts, smells, moving patches of darkness. Dogs often have better intuition than we do. I mean, some dogs can even sniff out cancer, so this premise feels perfectly believable and like an explanation of why dogs bark at nothing. Beyond this gimmick, the movie is about loyalty. It takes caretaking and flips it on its head. Horror often uses pets as casualties, but in this movie, the pet is the guardian. I think that's why I ended up caring about him way more than I expected. This movie taps into a primal worry we feel when an animal can see something that we can't. It takes this worry and twists the human-animal bond into something devastating. Dogs are widely considered to be man's best friend, and this movie captures that intent even if the feelings aren't mutual. One of my favorite things about this movie is that because it was told from a dog's POV, it reframed the cliche haunted house trope into something actually unnerving. I rarely get scared in horror movies, but this one legit gave me chills. It kept me in a place of helpless empathy. Indy doesn't understand what's happening. All he knows is that Todd needs help. That disconnect of innocent eyes fixed on an inexplicable threat is the core of this movie's dread. Indy is clearly the star of this movie. I love how director Leonberg spent 400 days filming this movie to get the perfect angles and seamless edits. You can feel the care in how scenes are built around Indy. I love how we cut away to an eerie door frame and back to Indy's curious look. It effectively builds intent, fear, bravery, and much more. It helps keep the supernatural story grounded with real emotions. Shane Jensen fills in for Todd. I don't know if he voiced his lines, but he did the physical movements. We never get any clear shots of his face. In fact, we never really see the faces of any actors in the film. I think that's a great choice for this POV. It distorts what we think we're seeing. You don't know if a figure walking up is a demon or a neighbor, and that adds to the tension. In many ways, it reminds me of Courage the Cowardly Dog and how he would see monsters out of the most innocuous things because he's a dog and he simply doesn't understand. This movie captures that idea and feeling. Going back to Jensen, I feel like his physical movements were a little stiff. Because we don't get to see his face, I would have loved to see some more expressive acting with his body. This is a minor complaint and not that big a deal because this movie is from a dog's POV, and you could probably use it as an excuse for any distorted or lackluster acting. The only real complaint I have about this movie is that Todd is a dumb character. He's clearly suffering and getting worse and worse, but he's in adamant denial. He refuses to accept help from Vera, so I never cared for him as a character. I know some people are like that in real life, but in this movie it just felt a little too unrealistic. So the entire time I was rooting for Indy to not be a good boy and just run away. I'm sorry if I'm reiterating, but I enjoyed the cinematography. Again, from a dog's POV, everything is shot around the dog's height. This means our lens is low and we have a silver thin depth of field. Stairs, doorknobs, and furniture become skylines in Indy's world. This resulted in a tactile geography of the house that I felt like I could navigate on all fours. I could head up to the stairs, to the garage, or to the basement. Despite the dark lighting, it's very easy to tell what's going on. This clarity keeps the fear in the movie sharp and not muddy. The final thing I want to say is that the sound design is phenomenal. I don't remember there being a score or soundtrack, but that could be because I was so laser focused on the sound design. Again, this movie builds fear out of the noises dogs lock onto. Sub-bass rumbles, distant knocks, and air whistling under doors. I love that when Indy locks onto something, voices slide to the background and the vibe becomes ominous. Whether or not you clock every clue consciously, your body does. So I have nothing but praise for the ambient sound design. I don't say this lightly, but Good Boy is the most unique horror movie I've seen in the past few years. It feels both experimental and emotionally grounded. It's chilling without being cruel, heartfelt without being sappy, and genuinely one of the most creative takes on the haunted house formula. I love that Ben Leonberg turned a simple idea of telling a ghost story through a dog's eyes into something deeply affecting and technically impressive. You can feel the dedication in every frame, from the low-angle cinematography to the incredible sound design that keeps you locked in Indy's anxious little world. Despite a few minor flaws, this movie proves that innovation and empathy can coexist beautifully in horror. Indy truly is a good boy, and I'll be thinking about him and this film for a long time. Thank you for listening to my review of Good Boy. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Good Friends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego and I will see you next time.